So when you talk about moderate, and you said you want somebody that's conservative, you can ask me anything about my record. I can actually give you documentation. There's another lady, her name is Debbie Pelley. I call her like a heroine of the state. She's a retired school teacher. But she always tells me this. She says that she had given up on all the politicians because she was at the state capitol as just a concerned citizen trying to make sure that everything went the right way. And she lobbied, not as a paid lobbyist, but because she wanted things to be, happening the right way. And when she saw us there at the Capitol, she saw the stands that we have taken, and she has been behind us, and she's just a great, great friend, and she helps hold me accountable. I mean, I have all these guys that are around me. None of them are yes men. None of them. Don't like yes men. I need to be challenged. If all of us thought the same, then we're not needed, right? We need people to help us and to sharpen us and encourage us and to get sharper on the Constitution and to get sharper on principles of government. It's not just the Constitution. I mean, it wasn't the founding document. There's a lot of others. You've got the Mayflower Compact. You've got the treatise. You have. How many of you ever heard of Alexis de Tocqueville? Have you ever heard of him? When he said, the French philosopher, he said, I wanted to learn what made America great, and I went to America and I wondered if it was her vast, commodious harbors, it was her expansive industry, or was it her research and development, was it, her people, was it? And it said, when I came to America and I saw the pulpit or the preachers aflame with fire out of the pulpit, he said, that's when I realized what made America great. And when America ceases to be good, it will cease to be great. And there is many people, if you'll notice, when you look at this country, and it's a movement, it's a PC movement, where we're so rich we feel guilty that we've been blessed so much. And so we want to make sure that we lower ourselves or give it away or lower our standards to where we're not that city on a hill anymore that Reagan talked about. But one of the things about compromise and being a moderate, and I've had this painted to me in the paper over and over. If you've just moved here, you just moved from Houston. How long ago?
July.
In July. Wow. And you all have lived here
10 years, 11 years.
10 or 11 years. So have you read anything the papers have said about me?
Yeah.
I'm the most tarred and feathered politician, they say, in Arkansas's history. So.
That's why we like you.
Okay. All right, sign him up right now. Don't let him change his mind. But anyway, one of the things I've said to the media, because they always try to say, oh, he's an extremist, because, and I'll tell you two stories about what's the difference. First one is, you know what the difference between a conservative and extremist is, right? This is what happens at the Capitol. They don't really care. They really don't care if you say you're conservative. If you say you're pro-life, that's fine. If you say you're pro-gun, hey, that's great. If you say you're for less taxes and less government, that's okay. If you say you're against illegal immigration, they're fine with that. But if you go into the Capitol and you actually write a bill to actually move it from here or here to this direction, the media screams. I mean, they pitch a fit. Well, he's really serious. He's an extremist. See, what most guys do is they stay here and they say, well, if a bill comes up, I'll vote that way. Well, do you want somebody that's going to sit on the bench, or do you want somebody to push the agenda? So, I didn't go to sit on the bench, so that's why what I do is I have a campaign card and I go through it and I say to my wife, I said, this is what we've promised, and this is what we're going to put in. Otherwise, what's the point of even having it on a card, right? Because it's in writing. So, another way that I like to look at it is this: in the media, I like telling jokes, I like telling stories, and the media kept hammering me. So I want you to imagine back to the days, or when you're going to get married. And anyway, you're standing before the congregation. You have the pastor or the preacher, and you have the husband and wife or your spouse to be. And your spouse to be, when you're sharing your vows, they look at you and they say, I promise to be moderately faithful to you. How does that make you feel? I'm going back for 2 scoops. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, I think it's because we've had politicians. You know what politicians are, right? Poly is many and ticks are bloodsuckers. But, sorry. Cut. But anyway, I think it's because we've had people in office for so long that are just moderate in their convictions that we have a government that's extremely out of control. But if we will put people in office that are extremely committed to those principles of constitutional government, American government, then we have a government that must remain moderate. And you know, when I say that to the media, they just look at me and they don't know how to combat that. So use that when somebody accuses you of being an extremist. Being extremely committed to a cause is a good thing. You know what?